What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Tears Take. I am recapping the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16, episode 13. It's called The Reset. So, there wasn't a whole lot that happened in this episode. So I'm just gonna go through the main scenes, give you my personal takes, but I do want to hear from you. So let me know your takes below. And if you're still rocking with my content, please give me a like and a subscribe so we can build a community here. And it also helps to share my content with other Bravo lovers like yourself. So win-win. Okay, so let's get into it. So the episode opens with Shamea, and a garage full of donations. So she is collecting donations to send ahead of their trip to Grenada. And they want to provide some relief to hurricane victims, which is awesome. She has all types of things, toys, clothes, things for kids, toiletries, just everything packed nicely, stacked to the brim of the garage. So I love how giving and philanthropic Shamea is. Then we see Kelli arrive. She has so many packs of water that she's going to be donating. She might have had some other things, but she mainly just had like a lot of water, spring water, to help provide the victims. So then we see Miss Brit roll up with like a little box, not even packed up nicely. And it has like 3 packs. It's like 2 packs of toilet paper and like a pack of tissues or something. And listen, I usually don't like to judge people on like what they give because some people don't have much to give. So who am I to dictate, how much you should give? However, Brit tries to put on this persona of, I get a luxury car every 2 years and I'm a member of this country club and I'm going to teach the ladies all about class. And I'm a successful insurance business owner. And I've dated all these rappers and I'm that girl. And your actions are not congruent with that persona. Having a party and only feeding a small handful of guests is not what a classy lady would do. Somebody flaunting Birkins and drinking champagne and serving your extended family lobster on a Tuesday on a whim. When it's time to give back, those types of people normally don't give 2 packs of toilet paper. Especially if they're on TV. I mean, there are some rich, stingy, greedy people. We know that. But at least on TV, act like you give a damn. Like, can we do that? Can we at least pretend that we like to give back? Because you look really stingy. You look really cheap. You look like you're not really about that life that you are trying so hard to portray. My thing is like, even though the show started out as like the aspirational lives, like we know, those of us who have been watching from day one, or at least watching in the past couple of years, we know that a lot of these women are not about that life. And that's okay. I appreciated Monica Garcia coming on the show like, yeah, I'm a single mom. I have 4 kids. I have a small house. Sometimes I get insecure that I have to buy a Louis bag to try to fit in. But other than that, this is just my life. I appreciated that. That was refreshing. And this is probably going to be the only time I'm going to give this girl props. But even broke behind Gina in Orange County, to my knowledge, she doesn't walk around acting like she's this and that. She's like, no, I'm rebuilding after my divorce. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to make moves to support my kids and rebuild. And that's fine. That's life. Not everybody has it like that. So that's okay. So don't come on the show trying to stunt, trying to act like you're so classy when you're not. I don't know. I spent way too much time on her. But anyway, so she barely brings anything. And then she tries to tell Shamea that the reason why she didn't bring that much, like she preemptively says this, is like, oh yeah, I had more. I couldn't fit it in my car. You could only fit a box this big in your car. That's all you could fit? Okay. So Porsha meets up with Drew, and before she gets to the table, she sees that Drew's hair is a little disheveled. It's not laying the way it should. And Porsha was like, what hair does she have on? Like, that is not go naked hair. And then in the confessional, the producer says, oh no, she posted about it and tagged go naked. And Porsha said, oh, well, it's a mixture. Someone online said Drew purposely messed it up and then tagged go naked just to be petty, which I love. Okay, so Porsha sits down with Drew. Drew says that she has an album release, a party coming up. She says, you know, I'm still working with Dennis and I signed with Dennis. And Porsha says yes. And I'm confused. Like, this season has the most like non-linear storylines. Like, lies are not being like debunked. Like, lies are being said on camera, and then the next episode someone can just say the complete opposite and we're supposed to just take it. And didn't Drew or Dennis, one of them said, and I'm pretty sure it was Dennis, didn't Dennis said that Drew was no longer working with him? And it's like, I understand he's probably just saying whatever to calm Porsha down, but it's like, there's no acknowledgement of that. We're just going to pretend like that didn't happen on camera. I don't know. I feel like these editors are just very sloppy and the girls aren't giving much. I feel like the showrunner isn't like making these women talk things through enough and resolve things. And so the poor editors are just trying to have to like piece things together to try to make it make sense, but it doesn't make sense because we're hearing one thing and then we're hearing the exact opposite and we're supposed to just go with it. There's no flashback. There's no like conversation about it. It's very odd, but I don't know. Like, Dennis and Porsha, maybe they should just be together because they literally just say whatever comes to their mind and like, that's it. And there's just like no repercussions. It's just like, today I feel like saying this and it's fine. Tomorrow I can say the complete opposite and it's fine. It's very weird. But anyway, so in her confessional, Porsha was like, oh, Drew working with Dennis is just like, you know, the least of my worries. And I'm like, you have been saying this for months now. We are on episode 13 and you say you don't care, but then all through this episode, you're saying, I was so mad. I had to give us some space and I didn't. I couldn't even sit with you. I was so mad. So which is it, Porsha? I can't with the lies and it's okay to say I was feeling some type of way. It's okay. It's like, it's fine, but I don't care when it's literally your only storyline. I can't. It is so frustrating as a viewer to sit and watch Porsha and let her get away with this nonsense. It's annoying. So then Porsha says, you know, I was just mad that you guys were filming together and, you know, Dennis said that he was filming to work and to promote the album. But Dennis also wanted to clear his name because people thought that you guys were together. And Drew says, well, you know, I found out that you have recently filmed with my ex. You know, basically her current husband, but her estranged husband. She's like, well, you were filming with Ralph. So what's that about? Porsha's deflecting. And then she says, well, you know, Dennis says that he's not the one dating you. It's really that you're dating Black. And Black is another, I guess, producer, just someone on the musical team. And Drew's like, what? Like, no, he's my friend. And Porsha's like, oh, okay, so it's on the low then? And she's like, no. She's like, my divorce is messy. I'm worried about getting through this divorce, making sure my kids are straight. I'm not worried about dating anyone. That's not true. He's my friend. Number one, Porsha, that was foul. Because you know what it's like to go through a divorce. You're going through another one right now as that scene unfolded. So that was really dirty. You want to talk about a low down, dirty individual? You want to talk about that? That's what you are. Why would you do that to a woman with a spiteful ass bitch of a husband who you know will do anything to hurt her? Why would you sit there and throw something out like that out? It's like you have learned nothing from that whole situation with Candy. You and Phaedra. Y'all just be talking to talk, saying stuff. I heard this. I heard that. You didn't hear shit, Porsha. Shut up. So then in the confessional, Portia's like, I mean, if you're dating Black, claim Black. And I'm like, Porsha, Weren't you just telling everybody that Drew was on Dennis's hot dog? Weren't you saying that Drew was trying to get with Dennis, sleep with him, and you had the text receipts? Are we in the Twilight Zone? Are we in the Twilight Zone? Wasn't that your storyline of, oh, you know, they can work together, but she's trying to get with him and didn't even have the balls to tell me? Are we like, why didn't the producers ask that in the confessional? Porsha, you were so certain that she was going after Dennis. So why are you so certain that she's dating Black now? There was no flashbacks. There was no acknowledgement. They're just letting Porsha lie and talk. And it's driving me crazy because I'm like, are we watching the same season? When things happen and I'm like, wait, I thought they talked about that. Wait, they didn't talk about that. Like, I feel like I'm a crazy person. Like, is it me? Comment down below if it's me. Maybe I'm watching the wrong episodes of, maybe I'm getting the wrong episodes on my Hulu and Peacock. Please let me know. Please let me know. I feel like I'm crazy watching this. Like, whoever is behind the scenes sucks. Someone needs to get fired. Because these stories don't make sense. No one's getting called out on their lies. We're just supposed to sit there and say, oh, she likes Black now. Last week, oh, she wanted to sit on Dennis's hot dog. Didn't you just tell Phaedra that last episode, Porsha? That she wanted to sit on his hot dog? Oh, no, they're not selling them. She wanted to sit on it, though. So then, Drew says, okay, well, if we want to throw things out, then I can just throw out that you're dating Future. And Porsha was like, I'm not dating him. I don't even know him. And they bleeped out his name. So Future probably sent a cease and desist to Bravo. Like, nah, you ain't using my name. But that's who they were referencing. And Porsha claims she doesn't know him. I don't care. But I'm with Drew. Like, you want to just say messy stuff about me. Now I can just do the same about you. Clearly, we're allowed to do that. Clearly, there's no repercussions. Clearly, there's no need for receipts. It's so childish and it's stupid. So then Porsha tries to deflect again. And she's like, look, whether or not you're dating Dennis, girl, I thought she was with Black. I thought she needs to claim Black. Am I? Please, somebody please. If I'm on, like, maybe I took something. Let me know if I'm crazy, because Porsha really just be saying anything. And I need someone to sit her down and be like, girl, if you're going to lie, please carry the lie all the way through. So then she goes back to saying that she wants Dennis. I mean, whether or not you were dating him, I don't care whether or not, like, I don't, stop throwing stuff out there because you're still throwing a seed of doubt instead of just saying, okay, you deny it. I understand it. Thank you. Instead of clearly having to say that out of your mouth, it's still like leaving some space of doubt. So then Drew clocks Porsha and was just basically like, okay, well, let's address the elephant in the room and let's talk about why you're really mad. You're not really mad at me. And you're mad about what's going on. You're going through a divorce. You're mad about the other things going on and you're taking it out on me. Bingo. So as Drew is saying, this is what you're mad at. Porsha says, your vibe is just so combative and like, I'm not taking this. And she gets up and leaves. Porsha drag a girl off the stage, beat someone in the alley, try to beat up somebody's mama. You want to call Drew combative? And Drew was just keeping it cute. Like, you're not really mad at me. Like, Drew has a really good way of getting under people's skin because she stays so calm. She puts that little fake smile on. Her little voice. Oh, you mad? Let's talk about it. You mad? Well, we can talk about it if you want. Like, Drew is like, she's like low-key condescending. And so I can see why it's annoying when you're having a conversation with that, when you're having a confrontation with that. I can see how it's annoying and gets under your skin, but it was not combative. Passive aggressive, sure, I can give you that. But combative, Porsha, what was that, your word of the day on your little calendar? That Lord knows you struggle. Anyway, so Porsha leaves. I'm like, girl. And that's the other thing. Why are you walking out of every scene that you get your little feathers ruffled? Nene used to do that a good bit, especially towards the end. But you're not Nene. Girl, sit there, do your job, and talk it through. That's why we're on episode 13 now, because you can't get to the root of anything, because you know there's nothing to get to the bottom of, and you know you're about to get your face played. Porsha knows, like, she's not as dumb as she looks. Like, she's dumb, but she's also calculating. And in her mind, she's thinking, I can keep this going. We're almost done this season. I can keep this going another couple of weeks. So let me not resolve it today, because that's her only storyline. We have a quick scene of Kelli getting ready to pack, and she's packing for Grenada. She's telling her girls where she's going and what she's doing. She mentioned to the girls that she's going to miss their first day of school because she'll be on vacation. That's really weird. I wouldn't have done that. I would have either, depending on how the trip was scheduled, I would either arrive late, or I just would have to skip. But I don't know. I guess it's hard because it is a cash trip and I know it's mandatory. I don't know. That's still a tough one, though. I would like to be there for my kid's first day of school. But anyway, so they just have a brief talk about just what to expect while she's gone, etc. So then she goes to talk to her assistant, I think, basically someone that works for her with her, who's going to be helping with the girls while she's gone. And he says that he reached out to her ex. And pretty much he was just trying to get him back on one accord and just get him back in communication with her so they can co-parent. He can be there for the girls. He basically said no. In the beginning of this season, I did say that Kelli has a lot of things that we could probably work out, that we could probably get a lot of good story from. But I don't know. I found that scene not compelling because I didn't care, because we didn't know him. Had we seen their marriage and knew who he was, knew his personality, felt, an ounce of investment into their relationship, into this guy, then maybe it would be more compelling. But we don't know him. We've never seen him. We don't talk to him. We haven't seen them interact. We haven't seen him with the kids. And so it's kind of like, okay. Y'all could have kept that scene, honestly, but I know she probably needs scenes because last episode she's getting facials with the dog. So, but anyway, best of luck, Kelli. I know I'm saying I'm not invested, but I know that's your life. Best of luck with that. That's got to be heartbreaking to deal with a crazy, non-involved ex, and then also having 4 kids and a business and all that. And the ladies get to Grenada. They do this convoluted a room assignment, and Shamea and Kelli pair the girls up so that they can get out of their comfort zones a little bit. So they assigned the roommates, which we'll get to in a second. And then they assigned the rooms based off you take a shot and then there's a number under the cup, and then the number corresponds to a room. I was like, all right, just get to the rooms. So, most of the rooms are really nice, but there is a room with bunk beds. And I'm just like, and coincidentally, Drew gets that one again. And I'm just like, I get that this franchise is currently on the struggle bus, but let's be very clear that Atlanta put Bravo on the map, busted it wide open, and brought in a lot of money and was number 1 for years on the network. Brought in so much revenue. So stop playing in Atlanta's face and stop sending them in these janky little accommodations. It is so frustrating. It's not even funny anymore. You have the Salt Lake girls getting their own villas and their own suites, and everyone has their own room and bathroom, and it's so nice. Everything's equitable. And then you get these, and they've been on for 5 seasons. And then you get these Atlanta women in season 16, and they're still getting twin beds. Come on. Nah. Angela had a very mature thing that she said in her confessional about Phaedra. She said, I've heard some things. I'm going to put that aside and I'm going to just get to know her for myself, which is awesome. But then cut to Phaedra seeing Angela, and she's like, oh, she's the oldest looking young person I ever seen. I hope her personality is younger. Girl, what? Miss Screwface, are we really going to talk about looks? Do you really want to talk about looks? Because Do we want to talk about looks, Phaedra? She's getting nasty. Like the last episode when she came on and had that bit at the end, I did find that entertaining. In my mind, I was like, okay, she's just doing this. It's her first scene. She's trying to do a little splash, little shady splash. Ha ha, he, fine. But after that, fall in line. And here she is. You're still trying to shade people who didn't do anything to you. You're still trying to shade looks and things like that. I hope they light you up at this reunion, Phaedra. I hope they light you up. At least I have faith in Angela. I don't know about the other girls. Everyone's scared to like upset Porsha, so they may not want to go after Porsha's friend. But I don't know. It's just like there's shade, and then there's just like unnecessary shade, and there's just being mean, and that was unnecessary. She did nothing to you. Then the women eventually make their way to dinner. And I know I didn't say this, but Grenada looks beautiful. They had a beautiful welcome. They had men on stilts and music and dancers, and it was just such a beautiful vibe. So like, I definitely need to look into that. But anyway, so the ladies make their way to dinner. Kelli says that she just wants to reset and renew and whatever, like they always say in every freaking dinner that's about to fall off the rails. So she says she wants to reset, and she wants to reset first with Drew and Shamea. So basically, Shamea is still mad at Drew because she's like, well, you stood 10 toes down and calling me a lapdog. Yeah, and is she supposed to lie? She said it. You asked her why she said it. She gave you an answer. That should have been done right there. Why are you mad at the answer? And then she's like, and then you made a post about an imaginary beef because I told you Shamea acting a fool in the radio station. Obviously got back to Drew, and then Drew just posted something like, it's weird like having imaginary beef with people. So, go off, sis, like pretty much. So she's like, that's not imaginary because when you call me a lapdog, it's real beef. Womp, womp. Okay, Shamea. Okay, girl. So they basically go back and forth again. And then Porsha jumps in basically saying that Shamea deserves an apology. And I said, oh, look at that. Look at Porsha. Porsha sticking up for your best friend. Finally, it only took you 13 episodes, but thank you for arriving, Porsha. So Angela says, no one's trying to get in the middle of you and Shamea, Porsha. I forget how the conversation shifted from Shamea and Drew to Shamea and Porsha, but then Angela says no one's trying to get in the middle of you guys, but we just wanted to share the grievances that were on Shamea's side. And Porsha basically says that she's mad that no one asked her about how she was feeling about the friendship. They only got Shamea's side. So because she said that, Kelli was like, okay, so let me ask you, do you feel like you were a good friend to Shamea? And this is how you know Porsha's a POS, because a normal person would have been like, yeah, I've been a good friend, but that's none of your business. That's between me and Shamea. Porsha says she just skirted by the question. It was just like, no, that's between us. We already talked. We're good. And Shamea was in the confessional like, oh, Porsha's defending our friendship. I'm just so happy. And I'm like, girl. All right, girl. So then Kelli like moves on to Drew. And she's like, Drew, because she's so loud. Drew, you have issues with everybody here except Cynthia. Girl, what? What? What's your issue with Drew, Kelli? Drew doesn't have an issue with Angela. I have no idea what the issue with Brit is. They mentioned something at Brit's dinner, but like, I don't even know what that is. So what are you talking about, Kelli? There's no known beef. So then that goes back to the Porsha Shamea situation. And Porsha is bringing up Black again. And in a confessional, he's like, oh, well, Dennis told me about Black. Oops, was they not supposed to say that? Oh my gosh. Porsha is so draining. At you to give you the heads up. I didn't because Dennis said he already got your blessing. And then Porsha's like, oh, well, he lied. And I'm like, exactly. He lies. That's why y'all broke up, because he lied and cheated on you. So I don't know why you're taking bits and pieces of what he says for gospel and trying to be mad at Drew. Oh, yeah, it's your storyline. So that's why. And so Porsha is like, okay, I received that. Thank you. And they dead the situation again for the third time. One can pray that this is the last time we have to hear it until the reunion. It's probably not the last time, but one can hope. And then at the end of dinner, Brit like randomly says, like on the topic of ex-husbands and baby daddies and being inappropriate, I just want to let you know, Phaedra, that my husband invited Apollo and his wife to an event, but we didn't talk to him and I don't really know him. And, I just want to let you know I'm not doing anything inappropriate. Crickets. Phaedra's like, girl, I don't care. Like, that's somebody else's husband. I don't care about that. And that was it. Flop. Flop, boo, tomato, tomato, tomato. You're such a flop, Brit. You should have just. Did y'all see that scene of her like eating something? She was like seductively eating her food. It was weird. I was like, girl, what you think you're selling on webcam? You're not. You're with a group of ladies. Sit down and eat like a normal person. So after her little awkward moment, that was pretty much the end of the episode. But there was a confessional from Shamea. And Shamea was like, girl, why would you bring that up? No one was talking about that. But we're still talking about how we're still hungry from your event. So I'll give Shamea props on that one. That was funny. Ready to wrap this season up. So thank God they're in a new location and at least we have a beautiful backdrop to them arguing. But I'm ready to wrap this season up. Let me know your thoughts below. How did you feel about the episode? How are you feeling about the rest of the season? What are you hoping to see and get out of it? Or what are you tired of? Do you agree with my takes? Are you with me that there's like a weird disconnect on this show and people are just lying just to lie and say things just to say things? And I just don't think anyone, or I don't feel like most people are just being authentic on screen. And they're just saying things for the good of the scene and they don't remember that they're being recorded. I don't know. It's a weird phenomenon that's happening this season. But anyway, let me know your thoughts below. If you made it this far, thank you. Please give me a like and a subscribe. And yeah, I'll talk to you in the next video. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Bye.